With the upcoming release of the brand new LEGO Spider-Man 2 train set, which is our first time release set since 2004, so over 21 years ago. I thought it'd be really fun to go back and look at the original waves for Spider-Man 1 and 2, and see which sets would make for amazing remakes, as well as sets we could get for the first time, especially for Spider-Man 3, as we never got sets based on that movie. Because unfortunately at the time LEGO lost a license to Mega Bloks, so there's many great sets and characters we never got. So pretty much this video is just my personal wish list for Spider-Man sets. So be sure in the comments to let me know your picks and choices for remakes as well as brand new sets. And I'm sure like a lot of people, Tobey Maguire was my first introduction to Spider-Man and superheroes in general, and I just love those movies so much. So any new set would be super exciting and amazing for me. Let's begin by casting our minds back 23 years ago, back to 2002, with the release of the original Sam Raimi Spider-Man film, which I'm actually sure a lot of you watching probably weren't even born yet, so I feel super old right now. But this movie was like my #1 childhood obsession. It got me into Spider-Man and superheroes in general, so it means a lot to me. Now this movie and sets were sold that they were under the LEGO Studios theme at the time, which was the general movie division of LEGO. And then a year later the Spider-Man theme officially started. Now for Spider-Man 1, pretty much all I want is Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin. I love his design in the first movie, and I remember as a kid I actually had the original Green Goblin minifigure, but being a dumb kid I lost it, and it still haunts me to this day. As well, I think it'd be great to get Mary Jane, as we are getting J. Jonah Jameson and Aunt May in the train set. And then in terms of sets, I'd love to see a remake of the Action Pack set, which is one of the original sets from 2002, which gave us a build based on the parade scene with Goblin and Spider-Man's first encounter. We get the balcony build, Mary Jane, Spider-Man as well as Green Goblin and his glider. This would be the perfect set to remake because you could get a really good build and pretty much all the main characters from the movie. They could either do a full building style build like this, or make it smaller and just do the balcony build for a better price. Or they could even go a little bit crazier and do some of the balloon builds for Spider-Man and Goblin to fight on. And another amazing remake from this film would be Spider-Man's First Chase, where we could get his wrestler outfit. That would make for a really great minifigure. Keep the build nice and simple like this one, do 2 cars, and something for Spider-Man to swing on like a lamppost. Now the only issue I could see with this set is the actual story behind it, because in the movie Peter is hunting down Uncle Ben's killer. Maybe nowadays LEGO wouldn't want to do a set based on this, but I can't see it being too much of an issue if they keep it like this and just call it like Spider-Man versus Robbers. And the final set I could see being remade would be the Final Battle one, but as the set is pretty outdated in building practices, it'd have to be updated quite a lot, so something more like the Ultimate Bridge Battle. And as amazing as that would be because the Bridge Battle set is one of the best Marvel sets of all time, one of the biggest draws to it is all the different minifigures, and with this being based on Spider-Man 1, it'd be very limited to just pretty much Spider-Man, Mary Jane, and then Green Goblin. So unfortunately, I just can't see that happening as good as it may be. So I think a decent workaround would just being a small section of the bridge and then doing the cable cart, and recreating the iconic choose scene. That way we can still get a good looking set with a good build, but it wouldn't be too expensive and risk not selling well for LEGO. And that's pretty much it for Spider-Man 1. Ultimately, if we get a new Willem Dafoe Green Goblin, I will be super, super happy. And I think unfortunately things like the wrestling scene or the first chase, or even the final battle might be a little bit inappropriate for LEGO nowadays. Hopefully that's not the case, but I could see it being an issue for them. And then moving on to Spider-Man 2, my personal favourite from the trilogy. With the release of the train set, I can't see LEGO doing too much with Spider-Man 2, because the biggest selling points for these sets are Spider-Man and Doc Ock. And with getting them in the train set, it could make some other sets a little less appealing, as there's not too many minifigures we could get in them. But for me personally, I'd love to see the bank robbery remade. This was actually the only set I owned from Spider-Man 2, so I'm definitely biased and nostalgic. And just like Green Goblin, unfortunately I lost my Doc Ock minifigure. The only thing I have left is the bowl haircut, and every time I see it in the LEGO pile, it's just mocking me. So I'm really excited to get the new one. Something really cool they could do for the bank build though, they could make it a part of the new mini modular line, and have it connect to Oscorp as well as the Across the Spider-Verse deli set. And then for the interior, they could do a bank safe, as well as the bags and money Doc Ock throws at Spider-Man. And for minifigures, you could do Spider-Man, Doc Ock again, then throw in like a bank teller, some police, as well as Aunt May. And then finally, the only other set I could see being made for this film would be the Doc Ock hideout set. They could do a simple warehouse build with Doc Ock's machine.
The power of the sun in the palm of my hand.
Then once again, Spidey, Doc Ock, and Mary Jane. But maybe in a few years after we've got Spider-Man 1 and 3 sets. Speaking of, let's move on to Spider-Man 3, the only film we didn't get sets for. So it's much more exciting in my opinion because there's so many new characters and builds we could get. And then after like 12 years, we could finally get the symbiote Spider-Man in a widely released set. It's one of my most wanted Spider-Man variations, and it's like paying like £2,000 being a Comic-Con exclusive. So a really fun one I would love to see is a new Goblin attack. Make it a smaller set, like £10-15. Give us Peter Parker on his bike as well as a new Goblin build. They could also do a small rooftop for the fight to continue, or even a pipe build for her to hit his head on. This might be one of the goofiest and most brutal scenes I've ever seen in a film. Like, it's so violent but so funny at the same time. How Harry is alive is beyond me. And then for our next set, I'd love to see the bank truck heist, where Spider-Man first confronts Sandman. So give us a nice simple bank van, like what we saw in the Doc Ock set, and then give us Spider-Man Sandman as a minifigure and maybe a security guard. That'd be a really great set. And next up, we'd have another Sandman set, but probably my most wanted set, or my second most wanted, would be one which includes the symbiote Spider-Man. So do that underground subway fight. So for this, I could see LEGO going one of two ways. I could see us maybe potentially getting like the same subway cop build from the Doc Ock set, so they can combine together to make a bigger New York train. Or maybe they just do a small track build for Spider-Man and Sandman to fight around. But either way, I'm definitely getting this set, if it happens of course, because I really want a symbiote Spider-Man. I love the design in the film. In fact, when I was younger, I actually painted one of the original Spider-Man minifigures with Sharpie to make it the black suit, and it completely ruined the minifigure and looked absolutely awful. So I've lost my Goblin and my Doc Ock and ruined my Spider-Man minifigure. I was a very stupid kid. And the final set that I'd love to see made, I think everyone's thought of this set, would be the final battle for Spider-Man 3. I could see this being a diorama style. We could get a vertical construction site build, bunch of different scaffolding, maybe do a big web in the middle, then a taxi cab build for Mary Jane, and then a massive brick built Sandman. And it would be really great to get some legs for him, as we didn't get them in the No Way Home set, as well as I've always wanted a fully brick built Sandman since the original LEGO Marvel Superheroes game. And then maybe also include the pipes that Peter uses to defeat Venom. And then for minifigures, we of course would get Spider-Man, Mary Jane, the new Goblin, as well as Topher Grace's Venom. And they could even put J. Jonah Jameson in the crowd with the camera. And then my final and most unrealistic idea wouldn't be based on any film in particular. It would be a new direct-to-consumer Daily Bugle set based on all the movies combined. So perhaps once the comic Daily Bugle retires, they could replace it with this one, where we get a massive build from the film, and it just includes every single character from the 3 movies. So Spider-Man, Peter, Mary Jane, J. Jonah Jameson, Aunt May, and then just do every single villain. I'm not sure how well that would sell though, but it would definitely be a cool set. And that's pretty much it for my ramblings and wishes for the Raimi films. So many great potential sets and characters to get. I mainly really want a Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin, same be it Spider-Man, and then all the villains from Spider-Man 3. If I can get them, I'll be incredibly happy. But most importantly, everybody let me know which would be your personal choices. Which sets would you love to see be remade, as well as sets for the first time? And which minifigures would you be most excited about? As always, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Hope you all have an amazing day. I'll catch you next time. Bye bye.